Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 7th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will still be changing, and the candlestick you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these for you beginners out there, candlesticks as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ISEE. Again, ISEE, big, huge volume today. As you can see, volume really poured in. And we have ourselves a good solid pattern here with some very well-defined levels. And I like well-defined levels. And as I draw this line here, please realize I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that that's special skill, that I have some sort of great ability. I assure you a lot of people have drawn in that trend line. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there is no such thing as a guarantee in the market, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can come up to that trend line and get the break up through it, let's call that area right up there about $16, if that break happens, like I said, is it plausible to think that that could create that much more buying pressure? Absolutely. Even if it's just people buying because, hey, I'm a breakout player. Oh, look, that's breaking out. I'm supposed to buy. Even for that simplistic of reasoning, that's what a lot of trading is, those self-fulfilling prophecies. So definitely keep an eye on that if you like to play breakouts. For those of you that enjoy playing pullbacks, very well-defined pullback area right here at $14.50. You can see several times the prices hovered right around that area and held strong. So keep a close eye on that if you like to play more so pullbacks. But all in all, any way you look at it, huge volume today, nice price movement. So let's see if it can continue over the next couple of days. Next one, HYRE, and same general dynamic once again in terms of self-fulfilling prophecies. I assure you a lot of people have drawn that trend line right there. I mean, just look at how fantastic of a job it's done in terms of forecasting where potential resistance levels are. So as I was saying, guarantees, no, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can come up to that trend line and then get the break up through it, that break could in and of itself create good solid buying pressure? That is certainly a very valid thought process to have. So keep an eye on that from a resistance standpoint and self-fulfilling prophecy standpoint. As far as those pullbacks are concerned, a couple key levels. Initial level right here at $1.17. If you want to be very aggressive though, or I suppose conservative, depends on how you want to look at it, and want to say, well, no, I'd like to see the price drop down to that pink line there, the 200 paired moving average, which is essentially at $1. Then that would definitely be a pretty impressive entry point. But the problem is whether or not that happens. Well, that makes things risky in and of itself because you could just flat out miss the trade. So that's going to be the couple pullback locations. But in my opinion, at least, I think the most interesting dynamic is whether or not the price can make a push back above that resistance trend line or not. Next stock, SPRO, and this one in my mind is all about a simple dynamic, and that is, can this price pull back some more? Because right now, looking pretty ugly. Big move up, but you got to give credit where credit's due. A relatively big pullback in the downwards direction, but can it pull back a bit more and then come down to this area right here around 90 cents, which is a former breakout point? So a couple dynamics here, just from a very basic technical analysis standpoint. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. But you got a couple little bonuses here because you have the pink line down there, that 200 paired moving average. You have the purple line down here, that 50 paired moving average. And as you can see right here, they're basically all congested in the same area. Now, does that mean that for sure guaranteed if the price goes down there, it'll bounce? Of course not, no guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if this thing gets a little bit more sketchy, a little bit more panic shows up, and then all of a sudden the thing snaps back around all those areas of support? Yeah, that is certainly a plausible outcome to have. Now, you should definitely never, you shouldn't be trading it at all, but certainly in situations like this, if you're not good at risk management, if you're not going to honor stop losses, then you certainly shouldn't be trying to play movements like this, because if this thing keeps on going down and down and down, then you don't want to be stuck there holding the bag when you didn't actually need to. So like I said, trading as a whole, you better be managing risk, but certainly in situations like this, risk management, very, very important. Next one, AVCT, and this will mean much more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you haven't, just a quick kind of recap of why I've been tracking it and why I've been talking about it, and it's had everything to do with that pink line there, which is the 200 period moving average, as I've said. And in past video, I've talked about how, hey, you know what, that tends to act as support, and so far so good. It's been acting as support. You can see right here multiple times support, right there multiple times as support, and when do you know it, back down it went today, and when do you know it, once again, right around that pink line has found support. So the question mark moving forward is, okay, is this some sort of triple bottom reversal? Once, twice, 3 times. Now think about that question. Does that really tell us anything? It doesn't, but the idea of a watch list is to find unique, to find interesting situations and not randomly rush out and buy anything, but to watch it and see how the price ultimately behaves. And if it does behave in a way that fits your personal risk tolerance and strategy, well, then at that point, you can take action on it. So right now, that's the big dynamic. That's the interesting dynamic here is this some sort of triple bottom that's going to, get another nice move in the upwards direction? To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just finally collapses downwards. That's totally possible, but that is a two-sided coin because, well, maybe it is, and maybe this is about to start to really rip and roar in the upwards direction. So again, it's all about those interesting dynamics and then to watch them. So if you like penny stocks, if you like to play potential triple bottom reversals off of key moving averages, then I definitely keep a close eye on it. Next, AMC in a very, very rough day, not because it was red today, but because the price has broken down through a pretty significant level here that had been holding strong. You can see last week held strong, and then even for the vast majority of today was holding strong. And then late afternoon, you can see the price broke through it and then has continued to sink down below there. And the reason why that level is so important is let's just squeeze down the chart here. And you can see that this is a line that has not been seen for a very long time. In fact, let me just change this to the daily time frame, meaning now each one of these is going to represent the more traditional daily candlestick. And you can see that, we're going back here to 2021 now, the last time the price was down around this area. So, we are talking about lows that have not been seen for, not exaggerating, over, years and years now at this point with the breakdown here. So that just, does it really change anything? It doesn't, because this thing has already been trending downwards as I've talked about in past videos. But the one, potential difference headed into today was, okay, maybe this thing is finally going to, bottom out. Maybe this thing is finally going to double bottom. And it was looking like a potential double bottom earlier on. But then, like I said earlier, late day with that price down, breakdown below there, it's looking like the downwards trend is just going to continue. And now AMC is quite literally at lows it has not seen for years. Really quickly, wanted to pause and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering here in just a few days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to help make good decisions as a trader, build quality trade plans, build consistency, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Like I said, it'll be in a couple of days. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to get signed up. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Next, MULN, and don't mean to state the obvious, but I will, really came to life today quite a bit, especially after a very rough start. That opening 30 minutes, price had a big red candle, started to drop again, and then just like that, exploded upwards, which going back to the whole philosophy of what a watch list is to find those unique, to find those interesting situations and watch them. And I would definitely consider this complete turnaround here a very unique situation because we now can throw out the question of, okay, is this the start of something much bigger? Once again, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just completely rolls back over. But two-sided coin because, well, maybe it is, and this thing continues to explode upwards. So if it is the start of something bigger, then the first big test to watch, I think a lot of people will be watching, is that pink line, which you now know is that 200-period moving average, currently valued at 71 cents. So that'll be a very important level of resistance to watch moving forward on this one. If the price does pull back, then the level that I would definitely call a must-hold level is 65. Why is 65 so important? And I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to 65, break down below it, what would that be doing to the price? That would literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out from. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of true, genuine power. So again, not saying that's what's going to happen, but that is why that 65 cent there is so important. And again, 71 cents, key level of resistance. Next one, AVYA. Been tracking this one a very long time, and the trend continues just to build context. Pretty crazy to think that not that long ago, this thing was hovering down here in the 60-cent range, and now we are up over $2 after today. So for the people that have been trading this trend, congratulations. As far as patterns moving forward, have what was that, TYRE, I think, if I remember right. Same general premise here. We have that area of resistance. We have that area of support right here. So yes, as of now, there is a downwards channel to it, but the thing you have to keep in mind, and it was allow the pattern to actually take place. So yes, we have our resistance, we have our support right here. There is that bit of a downward channel, but the downward channel is happening after a very explosive move right there. So in all actuality, what we have here is a bull flag pattern. Now let me be very clear, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean that the price is going to for sure keep going upwards. But point here being is that Is it rational? Is it logical to think that this thing could keep on going with the trend? Absolutely, when you have this bull flag pattern. So if you like to play stocks down below $5, if you like to play bull flag patterns, here you go. Next one, SQQQ, and this is an ETF that allows you to make money if you think that the NASDAQ market is going to go down. So if you think NASDAQ stocks are going down and the overall market's going down, this is a way for you to actually make money with that because this ETF goes up. And that is why today had a very strong day because the QQ, not a very strong day, I should take that back. Friday, late day, had a very strong move. And then today, consolidated a little bit, but still overall it is holding up nicely and has created a good solid pattern here. So let's just get that pattern in play. We'll just call that the self-fulfilling prophecy trend line there because, again, I assure you a lot of people have drawn that trend line. We have a very well-defined area of support down here, give or take right around 46.75. And then to make this all same color to make the pattern maybe easier to see, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big momentum move right here. Let's put our golf hole down here to make it a little bit more visual. And this will be known as a bull pennant pattern. So again, a lot of eyeballs you got to think watching that level. And if it breaks up through that top part, guarantee, say it with me, no. But is it plausible to think that that break of the pattern could create additional buying pressure? That's certainly a valid thought process to have. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and same general idea of MULN, meaning MULN, if you remember, started off rough on the day. I should have put these ones back to back, but started off rough on the day, and then to give credit where credit due, has made a very strong move here, which brings about the valid question, is this the start of something bigger? So general levels here, first key level that I would certainly consider a very, very important level, right here at 270. Why is 270 important? And like I said earlier, I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to 270 and then break down below it, what is that doing to the price? That's quite literally, once again, putting Tesla right back inside of that range that it just broke out of, which is not a sign of genuine power. But if this is the start of something even bigger, the next key trend line, or not necessarily trend line, but resistance level that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching is this level right here, which puts the breakout point at essentially $276. You can see once, twice, 3 times the price was rejected at that area. So 276 is certainly going to be very, very closely monitored tomorrow. So keep a close eye on that from a breakout standpoint. And then again, 270 going to be very monitored, probably from longs and shorts. Longs thinking you could get a bounce, shorts thinking that you could get a potential flush down through that area. But for me personally, as somebody that does watch Tesla on a daily basis, these are going to be the 2 main levels that I'll have a very close eye on for Wednesday. Next one, FWBI, and a great pattern here, namely because of that line right there, which you now know what I'm going to say, this self-fulfilling prophecy dynamic of $4.50. I mean, check it out. Multiple times, price is up, been up there, and then just been rejected, generally speaking. Now, there was the one time where it broke through it, and you can see things got moving very quickly, but that turned out to be a false breakout, and then the price dropped below it and couldn't get back above it again. But the point here being is 450, very, very well defined. And then on top of that, you have a very nice dynamic here with the price slowly trending upward. So you can see throughout the course of the entire day, the price is put in those higher lows. So let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of things. Higher lows, always good to see. And then from the pattern standpoint, resistance, support, big surge up. Let's get their golf down there. Another bull pennant pattern. So if you like to play bull pennants, if you like to play stocks down below the $5 mark, here you go. Very, very well-defined pattern. That wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then certainly get signed up for the free training. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy those format, do 2 things for me. Hit the like button and leave a comment. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow, or give me a request and maybe I can include it in the top 10 watch list for tomorrow. So hit the like button, leave a simple comment below, and then again, get signed up for that free training. Everybody take care. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.